Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Bleach Chapter 565 review. Now, this week's chapter of Bleach is a shocker because it's only exposition. That's it. No fighting, no blood, it's only exposition. It's like Kubo spent some time in the library. He read a plethora of books, became a scholar over the course of the last 7 days. And he said, you know what? I'm going to write a fairy tale. No! Not that piece of shit. Alright? I'm talking about the fairy tale of Yhwach Bach. Yeah. No, wait, better yet, the miracles of Juha. Wow. Yo, I love saying that. I love it. And I know the religious folks, oh my God, that is blasphemy. How dare? And I'm like, you get thrown to the wayside because I don't give a damn. I really don't. I mean, no. I was gonna go like religious, but when I do, I go really deep, alright? Like, it's kind of like stuffing a uterus, like a Thanksgiving turkey. I just thrust. Yeah. Like, that's how deep I go, okay? So, no. I'm not gonna go that way with the whole religion thing. I've done too many topics on that in live streams, so on and so forth, okay? Let me say it like this. I like it. The chapter, the way it actually panned out, because not a lot of times there are not many times where we actually get only exposition chapter from Tite Kubo. A lot of times we get some kind of action or some kind of combat going on with all white and black panels. I mean, I've seen Kubo color pages that are white and black. It's like, dude, I think you missed the point. But still, like, the thing about it is that, like, to see an actual, like, story, and it's not like the full-blown story of Yhwach Bach, but more so it is just the explanation of his powers and how his powers work and how they stemmed and so on and so forth. So, the foundation of his power scheme, there we go, that's more appropriate. What I do like in the chapter, first of all, was that there is clear tension between Uryu and Hashval, and I like that. Because Hashval, he understands that, yo, this kid right here, he's a young buck. He just hopped on board, and he hopped on board probably for devious reasons, which is to kill Juha because Juha killed his mom. Now, the thing here, because, she was a muggle. The thing here is that Hashval, he's on top of this shit. Like, I like that, because a lot of times I've seen in a lot of anime or manga where, like, the villains, like, they'll let the character, like, yeah, you've joined the dark side, welcome, my brother, and then they let it slide, like, whatever, like, they don't consider the possibility that he may betray them or so on and so forth. They let things go their route, and then they wind up getting backstabbed. But Hashval is on top of it. He's like, no. Listen, I know why you're here, alright? You want to kill Juha. It ain't happening. It's too late. A, he's way more powerful than you are. B, I'm his right-hand man, alright? There's a bond between me and him, and there's a bond between you and him, and all the Quincy's and him. He is the father of all Quincy's, okay? And you're not gonna get past his gate. And it's too late. You are beyond the point of return. Basically, the way it is now, you deal with it. You are the successor, so that could imply that maybe in the future, Uryu, if in fact things do play out where Juha dies, which I think will be like, whoa, because right now he's looking very damn beastly. Maybe Uryu will get the power that Yhwach Bach has, where he will Uryu himself will be able to give his own soul away, like Yhwach can. And because he's also given the letter A, because Yhwach's A and Uryu's A. Now, we do find out exactly how the powers work, but that's the part I think the most, where Hashvald was on top of this shit, where this shit wasn't gonna go down, alright? It just wasn't. No one's killing Yhwach on his watch. No one. So, when it comes to the whole Yhwach Bach power system, how it works, pretty much, what it is that Yhwach Bach is the only Quincy that is able to give his soul away to individuals. Initially, when he was a child, when he was mute, deaf, and blind, he somehow instinctively knew that he was going to survive, right? Kind of similar to Midori and Toriko, but that's a different story, because Midori and Toriko, it was like, well, it was insane, but this is pretty crazy too. Where in which people saw him, Midori, as a Christ-like figure, and they would touch this child, and that sounds kind of weird, I know, get out of your system, pedo, and call it a day. The thing here was that they would touch this child, and then they would receive a quote-unquote blessing, and what that blessing was they would receive a part of Yhwach Bach's soul, and that piece of his soul would mend their souls, whatever damage that soul had suffered, whether it be spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, and so on and so forth. Now, what happened is that upon death of that individual, that person's experience, knowledge, power would then be transferred over to Yhwach Bach alongside with the piece that he had given. So, when he was blind, deaf, when he was mute, pretty much all those ailments that he had, they would be mended because he had attained the power, the spiritual Ryatsu something. He would receive something from the person that just died, because his soul was imbued in their soul, and so when they died, their soul would go back to him. So pretty much it was a power, and that power had allowed him to gain sight, hearing, a voice, and so on and so forth. And we see him as like a young child, like not a baby, but as a young child. And he looks actually very similar to Tsukishima. He really does. He really does. I'm like, yo, he's like Tsukishima's little bro. Like, yo, Nissan, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? I'm just saying, look, they look very similar. But let's move on. The thing here is that later on in life, he figured out that there was a more direct method to where in which he could give one a lot more power with his soul, and that was by inscribing an initial on their soul. And this would do, and as far as we know, in Uryu's case, it's done by drinking Yhwach Bach's own blood. And by doing that, I guess the blood itself can inscribe a letter on one's soul, and that letter would be the basis of their power. Now, since Uryu and Yhwach Bach are both letter A, again, this would probably hint that at some point, maybe Uryu's power is to give his soul away like Yhwach can. Again, I don't know, because Uryu, he's a muggle. So, in a sense, more Harry Potter terms right here, in a sense, Yhwach Bach is like Voldemort, and every Quincy is like a Horcrux. I mean, that's the way it is. That's just the way apparently it pans out to be. But in Yhwach Bach's case, he's seen more as like a godly figure, while Voldemort is like some evil, slithering snake dude. So, and plus Yhwach Bach far more powerful, obviously. Now, I don't know. I mean, can Yhwach Bach take the Avada Kedavra? Fucking of course he can. No shit. But still, the thing here is that Yhwach Bach, every time someone dies that has a piece of his soul, that power goes directly to him. Now, I don't know if it's like the abilities themselves, or if it's just the power of that person's essence. I don't know, because we can assume that certain souls have like certain degrees of power depending on the individual. But when James died, he didn't say nasty masculine, which made me mad. I was like, yo, why are you shitting on Del Rio? But apparently he is. When James died, he said, okay, yes, you can return to me. And he absorbs James's powers. So, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I don't know why it's specifically James. Because we saw James. All he was doing was, yeah, superstar. And I'm assuming that he has a lisp. I see James having a lisp. If he had a lisp, it would match so well with this character. I don't know why. I see it. I just see it. Yeah, superstar! And that's all he did. So, I mean, maybe James was the one who was actually like the main guy. Well, no, he can't, because James got incinerated by Nasty Masculine. I mean, they're part of the. James is a part of Mask. So if James is dead, then Mask is dead. So I guess James, since he was the first one to go, Yhwach Bach knew about James dying first. Therefore, he said, you know, come to me, and he knew that Nasty Masculine was on the way real soon. Something like that. I don't know, maybe. But whenever he sleeps, he absorbs the power of all those who have died that have his soul. And when it came, because when Hashvold is talking to Uyu about this, we see pictures of not only Quincy that have his soul, because all the Quincy do have a soul inside of him, but also Shinigami. And here's what I want to point out. The Shinigami that were referred to when it came to them having a piece of Yhwach Bach's soul in them were Komamura and were Byakuya. Those were the two pictures of Shinigami that we saw. And we also saw Ichigo, but Ichigo we already knew that because Ichigo, he has like Yuha's impersonation inside of him, Zangetsu. So, or one of the two Zangetsus. But here's the thing though. That means that a person who had their Bankai stolen somehow has a piece of Yhwach Bach's soul inside of them. Now, maybe this is taken care of because they did, you know, most of them have taken like the hollow thing. So maybe Yhwach Bach, maybe Yhwach Bach, his piece of the soul has been cleansed from their own soul. I don't know. But it's food for thought. Because I was also thinking how maybe, if that's the case when it comes to Yhwach Bach and a piece of his soul, knowing that the Quincy's themselves are people who have a significant portion of Yhwach Bach's soul, and they attack and they kill Hollow, and Hollow are destroyed, maybe their souls aren't destroyed, but more so their souls are absorbed by Yhwach Bach. However, I have to remember that the souls of the Hollow are poisonous to the Quincy. So, we do know that according to what Hashvold is saying, those are their Bankai stolen by the Quincy Pendant. Those were the ones who were referred to as having a piece of Yhwach Bach's soul inside of them. Therefore, since they have touched the hollow pill thingy, maybe Yhwach Bach's soul has been cleansed from their own soul. Again, I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Or maybe it's more so like an area of affecting, where because they all now reside in Yhwach Bach's shadow realm. Yu-Gi-Oh! I love doing it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe because they all reside in the shadow realm of Yhwach Bach's world. Since people die, because we've seen a lot of Shinigami die, so that's a fact. The thing about it is that maybe them residing in this place, their souls automatically get fed into Yhwach Bach as well. Again, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm throwing stuff out there because it is possible. It's very possible. But that being said, Yhwach Bach, we find out that in order for him to retain his power, in order for him to continue to be at this level, and to go even higher, to go even further beyond, he himself must continue to engage in wars and battles. He must continue to engage in wars and battles and absorb the souls. Which would actually answer my own question, because then it probably is an area of effect thing. Because if we can assume that not all Quincy's, because Hashball did say that it doesn't matter which side wins or loses. The end of the day is Yhwach Bach getting more powerful. This is all just a tribute to Yhwach Bach. So I think he can absorb the souls. He can absorb the souls of other people. Just how we had Kirige absorb Ion like the Sclavarai. And not all Quincy's can do that. Because obviously Renji was fighting against Master Masculine, and Master Masculine didn't do the Sclavarai. Neither did Chengde, neither did BG9, neither did, Bambita. They didn't do that. Only Kirige did. So, but the thing about that is that Yhwach Bach probably directly absorbs the soul. And within this area, which would actually really directly affect the Spirit King, because the Spirit King is supposed to maintain the balance of souls, which is why Mairi had to kill a lot of these people in the Rikongai district so he could maintain the balance. But Yhwach Bach, his existence is fucking up the balance. His existence is fucking up the balance of the would-be god of the Bleach series, the Spirit King, Kubo. So, it's a very intriguing concept, how he has to continuously engage in wars so he can keep his senses, and him absorbing the souls of others, and the fact that he has inscribed a letter in those particular souls of people that he calls Quincy or Star Knight. Yeah, the Star Knights in particular. So maybe the base Quincy, a regular Quincy, has simply touched Yuha, or they have his essence by some roundabout means. But those who have drunk his blood are Star Knights. They have the inscription on their souls. Yeah. So Yhwach Bach, alright? This is all about Yhwach Bach, and I do like it. The chapter, I thought was a good plus chapter. I really did. Because it is very detailed about Yhwach Bach's powers and how they work. And it does give you questions about how things work later on, or how things may work later on when it comes to certain characters and them dying. And can he actually keep the powers? Like, can he use Chengdu's iron body? Can he, start cheating himself on? Like, let's go, Yhwach Bach, and he just power up. I don't know if you can do that or not. But the thing here, I'll be fucking funny. Oh, I'll be hilarious. But the thing here is that Yhwach Bach right now, he's sleeping, he powers up, and apparently this is only done when he's sleeping. I don't think he can do this when he's actually awake. But when he's sleeping, he gains the powers, and I'm starting to think, yo, this guy, he's on some whole other level shit. Because he has Yamamoto's Bankai. He has Old Man Yama's Bankai, and he's absorbing souls constantly when he's asleep. Yo, this guy's a massive... Obviously, he's a massive thing. So, we'll see where it goes. But the champering overall, I'm going to give it a rating of good plus, and I will see you guys later. Be sure to, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace! Have a nice day. Bah.